Hey everybody, welcome to the Ed Boston podcast here on Saturday, September the 16th, 2017, and we are very, very, very excited about today's show. And I say we because Amy's here with us today. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you.
And we, together and individually, are excited about having Darci Lynne back on the show with us today.
We're very excited.
We have had the privilege of having Darci on the show twice now. She's just such a special young lady. She is a professional at what she does. You'll hear me talking with her about the amazing talent that she has and how it's just mind-boggling that she is one of the few people on the entire planet that can do some of the things that she does. But at the same time, she's still just a little girl, and she giggles and has fun. And well, Amy,
I think she's wonderful, and I just am amazed at her talent. God's just given her such a wonderful talent.
And when you think about it, there's been a couple of ventriloquists that have won on America's Got Talent, but they were adults, and she's just a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, and Terry Fader is one of them that has won that is actually a role model for her.
And she makes that point as we talk to her. What's going to happen next is we're going to play her semifinal performance. Then we'll have her with us and talk with her on the show. After the interview, we'll be back and talk more about the interview with Darci and other things that are going on America's Got Talent. So enjoy the performance, enjoy the interview, and Amy and I will be back at the end.
Edna Doorknocker, what are you doing? Get me out of here! I have not been this uncomfortable since I was stuck in the elevator with the singing Trump. All right. Now, where is that Simon feller? Oh, Edna, he's right there. Oh, my. He's a hit with the ladies in their 80s back at the home, you know.
But Edna, what about the age difference? You're so old, he could give you a heart attack.
Oh, don't worry, Darci. Simon knows mouth to mouth.
Ew, TMI.
All I wanted to do was tell him how he makes me feel.
Well, why don't you sing him a song?
What a great idea. Simon, my hunka Englishman. This one's for you. Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. You know what, Darci? Take me down to Simon. What? Oh, baby, what you done to me? You make me feel so good inside.
Hi, folks, and we are privileged this evening to have once again on the Ed Boston podcast, Darci Lynne. Welcome to the show.
Hi, hello.
Oh, you sound like you're in a good mood tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why. Just, maybe because you're going to the finals of America's Got Talent on Tuesday.
Yes, I am.
That probably makes you smile just a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's super exciting, but also nerve-wracking.
Oh, I bet it is. Over the process, from the initial tryouts all the way through to where you are now, it's got to be nerve-wracking every step of the way.
Oh, yeah. There's not been a performance on AGT that my stomach doesn't fall out of my body.
Well, your last performance, we were introduced to another new character. Tell us a little about the last performance and how you thought that went.
I feel like it went super well. I was really nervous to bring Edna out on the stage because I didn't know what she might do or say. Obviously, she has a crush on Simon. I didn't see that coming, but, it's live. Anything can happen. Even though Simon said I was in big trouble, I think he liked it.
I think he probably did. Now, did you get in big trouble?
Oh, no. He was just playing.
I had a feeling that was the case.
Yes.
Now, I think I asked you this the last time you were on. And by the way, thank you for coming on the show once again.
Thank you for having me, and you're welcome.
I'll just go away from the question I was going to ask and tell you something right now. I've done over 1,500 podcasts.
Wow.
No, here comes the wow. You, when you were on the last time, are the highest rated podcast that I've ever done.
Oh, wow.
and not only that, listen to this. This amazes me. Not only are you the highest rated, but you are double the numbers from number 2.
Oh my gosh!
What's that mean?
Well, I don't want to be on the radio, Steve.
It's okay. It's okay.
It means that the second highest number he's had,
you're
twice as many as that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what Trevor and I said when we saw the numbers. We said, "Whoa."
That's amazing.
Well, and it has been, but it speaks to the popularity that you've gained since you've been on America's Got Talent. I bet you get.
Thank you.
Well, I bet you get, notes and emails and tweets and all the things that happen in today's world from all over the world, don't you? Tell me some of the places that we may not expect that you've heard from.
China, Denmark, Australia, the Netherlands, France, South Africa, Tunisia, I think, Malaysia, Brazil, Argentina. There's so many more.
Well, so not only are you a star here in America, but you're an international star. I mean, does that sink in?
No, it really doesn't. It's like my mom, she'll come up to me and she'll be like, Darci, you got like something million views. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, that's so cool. And she's like, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, you know what else is cool is that on our show we've had, and I think you may know this, at least part of it, we've had you and we've had Angelica Hale and we've had Evie Claire, all three on our show. And we call you guys our AGT3.
Oh, I love that.
And how cool is it that all 3 of our AGT3 made it to the finals?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about, let's ask about both of the other 2. Angelica.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about her.
Angelica is about the sweetest little thing you'll ever meet. She is so cute because she's just excited about everything, and she's like my little sister. I love her to death.
Well, tell us about the night where you and her were up together, and afterwards she came and grabbed a hold of your leg, and it didn't look like she was ever going to let go.
Yes, we dreaded the thought of going against each other. I told her, I was like, Angelica, because I just kind of knew. I was like, Angelica, they're going to put us against each other. And I was like, no matter what happens, I still love you. And she was like, me too, in her little voice. And so, but we just did not want to go against each other because we had become such good friends. And when they called my name, I was like, please don't call Angelica. And then they called it, and I was like, oh. And I didn't even, both of us going through didn't even cross my mind. I just thought it would be one of us. And when they called both, I was like, oh, yes, in my mind. And you could tell because I was jumping up and down.
Yes, until she grabbed you by the leg, and then you couldn't move. When you're on live, Mandy Harvey, thank you, Trevor. Know it just as well as any other thing I'll talk about today, and just it slipped my mind. Mandy Harvey, fantastic singer, amazing in what she does, that she sings and she's totally deaf. How do you do that and not sing a cappella? She sings along with music. And but if you take away all of the outside thoughts, the same as you do with Evie and her situation, take out what some people call sympathy votes, and it's my opinion that Evie is just as good a singer as Mandy. So even if they're equal, let's go to the number 3, and that was the light act that was done. And I think that they're brilliant. And it is a very, very, very good act. Possibly something that I would spend money to go see, but that's probably a low possibility. And so you look at that, in Ed's worldview here, that moves both Mandy and Evie up ahead of that group. So we got the Sarah and the dogs. 5th was fine there. Well, I guess you would put. My brain is working slowly, but then I think the light act was a little better than Sarah and the Dogs. And that leaves Evie and Mandy, that I believe either one could have been in the third slot, which theoretically means, in the way I look at things, Evie, Angelica, and Darci could have been final three. Now, I will upfront admit that that is the opinion of somebody who is biased, not unbiased. I'm biased here. And again, this is my show, and I'm not a news show per se. And so I can be biased, and I am. But I think that there are probably a lot of Evie Claire fans out there that think that she should have been in the top three and right in contention with our other two friends of the show. Again, it was the vote that took place, and America voted and didn't vote the way I thought it should have been, which is okay. I'm not saying that Evie got ripped off. I think everything was fair and everything was on the up and up. I don't have any conspiracy theories or anything like that. I just think that she could have been in the top three. America was watching. America's Got Talent ratings hit a 6-year high. Again, an article up at trevordecker.com. Wednesday saw a trio of big finales as America's Got Talent, Big Brother, and MasterChef all wrapped up their summer runs, all of which means in a highly competitive Season 12 and Tyra Banks' debut as the energetic America's Got Talent host, 12-year-old Darci Lynne Farmer was the third child to win the series and the first ventriloquist since Paul Zerdin took the prize back in Season 10. There was a $1 million prize and a chance at a Vegas show for Farmer, just like Season 2 winner and fellow ventriloquist Terry Fader. The big win for AGT itself was last night's finale, raising 4% among adults 18 through 49 and 7% in total viewers to 15.6 million from the Season 11 ender. That means with the comparisons to that 12-year-old Grace VanderWaal winning season that concluded September 14th, 2016, and more, the show produced and co-judged by Simon Cowell scored a season high and a 6-year finale high in the key demographic and a 7-year audience high in fast affiliate numbers. The top show of the night overall, America's Got Talent, also was up 38% from its September 13th edition, with America's Got Talent followed by the Season 2 debut of The Good Place, which was down 39% from its Season 1 opener. That had a post-voice premiere slot. The Comcast-owned net easily won Wednesday with 2.4 out of 9 rating and 12.17 million viewers. Being that Tuesday's America's Got Talent adjusted up a tenth to 3.0 out of 12, there is a good chance last night's show will see demographic changes to that could be seen as the Season 12 high overall later in the day. Bottom line is that people loved this season of America's Got Talent. You look, and when you follow these things, there's a lot of people who love their individual favorites, and that's the way it should be. There are a lot of people who love their individual favorites and then support the other people as well. There's also a good number of people that love their individual favorites and work hard to put the other contestants down. And to me, that's a real shame. It really is. There's no need to put the other talents down. And I've worked hard to try not to do that. And I want to give another shout out to Trevor and the professionalism that he has shown on his site by just reporting the news. I don't think he ever talked about our AGT3. He just gave the news and did what a news site should do. Then you've got people who I don't know if they've got a favorite or don't have a favorite and want to do nothing more than critique and say bad things about certain talent. And that can be anywhere from putting down or dogging up against one person or numerous people that are participating in the show. Those last two groups that I mentioned, the ones that have a favorite and then put the others down, and those that just live to try to bring negative into the world, they've got their rights to do that. Don't take that away from them. I just don't understand people like that. I mean, I've read comments about child performers that are just despicable. Things that were said about matters that just had no business being talked about. And even if it wasn't child performers, why is it necessary to be negative about what happened? I just went through and told you what I thought should have been the top 5. However, I didn't put down the other acts. You don't have to do that. I have a few acts that were in the top 10 that I didn't care for at all. But what good would it do and what purpose would it serve to sit here on this podcast and to put those acts down? Because they were all talented. They all are going to have opportunities to perform throughout. And I just hate that people think they have to do that. So let's refocus a little bit and get on more with the positive. And the first thing I want to do with that is I want to play Angelica Hale. And in a lot of these, there was a second America's Got Talent contestant that performed in with this, but I've just made mention of the contestant and the celebrity. When I say contestant, it is one of our AGT3. The first clip I want to play is Angelica Hale with Kelly Clarkson. Enjoy this.
Think you've had the last laugh, but you think that everything
Now, if you were 10 years old, would something like that pump you up or not? I mean, seriously. If you think about the medical issues that Angelica had when she was, I started to say when she was a child. She's still a child, but when she was much younger, and it comes with the song, if what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And so the things that Angelica has gone throughout her life has made her stronger. And I think Trevor even mentioned when he heard and we heard that Kelly Clarkson was going to be a part of the show, that whoever it was that she sang with, that would probably be the song that was chosen, and it did fit perfectly in with the choice for Angelica. While we're playing these little clips from the finale on Wednesday, I would encourage you to go back and go to Trevor's site and take a look at the actual performances from Tuesday night. There's some things that stick out in my mind. I've already mentioned Darci Lynne and her two puppets that she used. Angelica just belting out note after note that seemed to just be perfect in every way. And I think about Evie and the gracefulness that she's shown. And she had a beautiful dress that blended in perfectly with the set and everything that was there. Her beautiful voice. And even though her demeanor showed that she was nervous, I mean, when you think about, what did we say a minute ago, 15 million people watching, I'd probably be a little on the nervous side as well. So, and I think it showed in all of their faces at some point in the final two shows. The look on both Angelica's face and Darci Lynne's face as they got down to the final two, they both looked like they were going to get sick. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, but they both looked petrified of what was getting ready to take place. And so you think about nerves and the ages of the three, and well, it is an amazing thing. You think about Angelica, and we just heard her screaming that, basically announcing Kelly Clarkson, and she screams the name Kelly Clarkson. And then if you go back and look at Evie's song that she sang, What a Wonderful World, and it's hard to talk about this and not become emotional. And it was her dad's favorite song. You know, I think back to the year 2009 when I lost my dad, and what a struggle that was. But I'd had my dad for 47 years in my life. And I think to just a few weeks ago when we buried Amy's dad, but Amy had her dad in her life for 3 years, 52 years. Or something like that. She's either 52 or 53. I'll say 52 for her sake. How about that? I think it's probably 53, but we'll say whichever one is right. And how hard it's been on Amy, and is still hard on Amy every day. There's probably not a day goes by that at some point in the day I don't look over at her and she's got a tear or multiple tears streaming down her face. And so I say all that to say what an amazing job Evie did with singing her father's favorite song just days, less than 2 weeks, I believe, after he passed away. And not only that, not just singing, but singing his favorite song. I think that I made a tweet at that time and said, this old guy doesn't get teary-eyed very often, but that performance definitely made me teary-eyed. How strong of an individual is she? She had lots and lots of support. Her mom, her extended family, many that we have become friends with through this journey that she's been on. So her support system was wonderful. And you think about this, she was even given the opportunity to come back next season and perform next season. And she chose to stay and perform even with all of the negatives that were involved. Great respect for her and her family. Just amazing respect. And with that, let's listen to Evie along with James Arthur singing her original song, OK Day.
Give a big round of applause for Evie Claire.
So what do you think? Having a star like James Arthur, who went on and actually sang solo part of the song, and so having a major star like that sing your original song. I mean, I keep saying that, but that is such a big deal. Because if you think about it, there have been people who sing original songs in the competition that the judges kind of wished they hadn't have sang an original song. And of course, this wasn't competition, and it fit perfectly. But you factor everything in, and it just was such a wonderful moment, I believe. And thinking back to what we were talking about earlier, and her continuing to perform and not coming back next season and going through the trek again, her response in that was that her dad had taught her that once you start something, you finish it. And she obviously lived that to the very fullest with what she did. And, well, I couldn't be more proud of knowing her, having talked to her, having talked and interviewed her father. And once again, Trevor and I have both built memories and relationships with her family that will transcend just the America's Got Talent season. More on Darci Lynne and what a wonderful person that she is. She was on Access Hollywood, I believe it was the next morning after, and she shared some things that we wouldn't have known. So I'm not going to read the title because that would give away what it is that the article has to say. But America's Got Talent winner Darci Lynne Farmer plans to give back to her community following her big win. The 12-year-old Oklahoma native told Access Hollywood Live that she plans to give some of her prize money to her church to help with missions. She also shared in the interview above how her brothers who jumped on stage to celebrate with their sister caused a little confusion for the security. And if you remember earlier when we played, well, it was the very first clip that we played on the show, Tyra was asking, "Who are you?" And she asked it to two separate people, and both of them were her brothers. Been told that security was in her ear asking her to find out quickly who the people on the stage were. If you've paid attention to other contests, I'm thinking of Dancing with the Stars in particular, when there was some negative things that happened and security had to get involved and get people off the stage and things like that. So you understand why security was a little confused and uptight at that point. What a role model for not just other kids, but everyone to say, like Darci Lynne did, that she was going to give a portion of her prize money to her church, and in particular, her church to help with missions. Now, in a time frame where there have been numerous hurricanes, many that have affected places outside of the United States, and knowing that much mission work is being done as part of the cleanup, well, that just touches you a little bit more. I know she is somewhat similar to many professional athletes who are raising millions of dollars to support different, not just different countries, but their own area. I know J.J. Watt from the Houston Texans football team, I believe, has raised somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 million for the victims of Hurricane Harvey down in Texas and Louisiana. I know that several Major League Baseball players have been in the process of starting funds and putting their own funds. I read where one gave $1 million. I read where another is hoping to raise more than $1 million. But my point is that it's an amazing thing that she's doing. And when she was talking about the fact that she was going to give money, in a very serious tone, she said, that will be first. And the emphasis was on first. She's very involved with her church, and there's reasons why the three young ladies that were on this program were chosen to be on this program. We take great pride, but also go to extreme lengths to make sure that the people that we bring on this show are people who are willing to share their faith and show their faith. And Darci Lynne certainly qualifies there. Just every topic that comes up, you kind of just want to pinch their cheek and say, I'm just so proud of you, not just for the talent you have, but for the kind of person that you are. And with that, let's listen to Darci Lynne performing on the finale with her role model and friend, Terry Fader.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, it's the second season of America's Got Talent winner, Winston the impersonating turtle.
Okay.
Well, Winston brought Terry Fader too.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you, Winston.
Oh, hey, Petunia, I saw that Darcy's 80-year-old friend Edna is in love with Silent Cow.
Yeah, she is. But, I'm not so sure about it. Think about it. Age spots, wrinkles, broken hips.
I think you just described Silent's wedding night.
Mel B, that was for you.
I'm really curious. Are you two competitive with each other?
Yeah, in sports, in school, we are on track together and he always wins.
Yeah, that's because you always stop halfway to take a nap. Get it? Tortoise in the hair, get it?
Yeah, Winston, we get it.
I'm the best at telling jokes, by the way, Petunia.
Not as good as me.
What makes you say that?
Anything I can do,
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Wow, Winston, you sound like the original.
Hello, impersonating turtle?
Any note you can reach, I can reach higher.
I can sing any note higher than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
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 No, you can't.
I can say softer.
I can say anything
can hold longer.
I can hold any no longer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes,
No, you can't.
Wow! I guess you can.
Now picture this. She's 12 years old. She's not opening her mouth a bit. And how long did she just hold that last note? And when you think about that, you can see why she was the winner. And as we've talked about, you know, her graciousness and the things she's going to do with her money, kind of a chuckle here, but very touching and fitting. She's going to buy her mom a dishwasher too. The plan is to have Darci Lynne back on the show as soon as her schedule slows down just a little bit. We're kind of behind shows like Ellen DeGeneres, which she's done already, and major news outlets. So we're going to have her back on the show unless something happens, and we'll get to talk to her about some of the things that we talked about. I've got another announcement to make in that Evie Claire is going to be with us later in the week, and hopefully in the background you're cheering and saying, "Yay! We're going to get to hear Evie again," and that's a great thing. I told you that our relationship with these young ladies is not over just because the season is over. Wanted to make mention, well, let me just get a little quick line in here before. I meant to say this at the very beginning because a lot of times I'll start the show with today is the 23rd day of September, the year 2017. And so I was going to do that at the beginning and follow that with, and the world still exists as we know it. And apparently the return of Christ is still going to happen in the future because, and I say apparently, we do have a few more hours left in the day today for all of those false prophets who think that they know when Jesus is coming back. Could go on a long talk about this or a rant about this or a Christian teaching talk about this, but I'll just leave it with God's word says that no man knows the day nor the hour. And so when somebody predicts the end of the world for a specific time, then in my estimation, they lose all credibility. And we'll just move right along. We have a all-new edboston.com site up. We're still in the process of putting it together, but you can go there and see what we've got already. One of the pages is called Friends and Guests of the Ed Boston Podcast. And it's still being put together. We've only got 5 names listed and pictures that go along with it, but we intend to add a little bit of background information and possibly even links to the shows that they were on here on the podcast. That's a much bigger job than what it sounds like. So it's going to take a while to develop, and we'll continue to work on developing it as time goes by. But we would love to have you come and visit. We kind of decided that we needed a central location for everything that we do at Boston Podcast-wise, for our social media, for the different places that you can get our podcast. And so the very first blog post that I put up on the new site is a welcome to the podcast, or not a welcome to the podcast, but a welcome to the site. And in it is listed all of the different outlets and social media, as well as the sites where you can listen to the podcast. It's been so fun, so much fun to take this journey with our AGT3. And our numbers have been phenomenal since the start of this season of the show. We're just grateful for the opportunity, and we're grateful for the numerous new follows and all the different things you can say about social media sites. So we're thankful that it's been such a positive for our ministry benefits, and we just hope that we have been a blessing and that our AGT3 has been a blessing to you. As I said, we've got Evie Claire coming back. Darci Lynne is basically in the books. We just don't have a firmed up date. And just think about that. We're going to interview the winner of Season 12 of America's Got Talent. We've already interviewed her twice before the fact, and coming up, interview her as the winner.